So, Office of Special Prosecutor, abusuan right now no, or hante AfenyoMarkin sa enye asem ketewa kra na extortion allegations against him. Ene OSP atake immediate action on OSP. Sorry, AfenyoMarkins extortion allegation ayede ato no so no. Emre Kevin Taylor ebe drop information bi all ka say some 10 million Ghana cedis bi AfenyoMarkins request the free S.Gyamfi wa S.Gyamfi turn ne down. Ene OSP aso case no ma abusua AfenyoMarkins eja egunichima enye asem keto akwa enti no OSP ese oba befre AfenyoMarkins na solid investigations ayere akoso ewo ne side abusua right now no NPP minority leader NPP hierarchy for omode eja egunichim parliament ede eja egu AfenyoMarkins echemuno na echese OSP nso release letter respond to extradition allegations yede ato AfenyoMarkin so AfenyoMarkin if he is founded guilty anaso ebe hye ewo krome a abusia ye drop update bia ede amamome yenko na yenkonko tie ensema ekoso ye ba edidi aka ebeto am so unsubscribe ya subscribe hit on the notification bell send be any update be ebe drop no onso onsa ebetumi aka bi na ansa na mebe ko Ghana ha se open computer papa and laptop papa na we use Aboria Perosi computers and accessories ho and obenya laptop papa na we using the location enye ira kwan o Kumasi Bokrom Estate Eli Fre number na egu e screen as na dey ba kwa de wo mnisese ukra low budget kra na obema high quality laptop na we use embura yensem ye ba edede aka ebeto amoso.
He's detailed a number of things, the claims made, and then also exactly what he's putting out there. So we'll get into exactly what Alexander AfenyoMarkin is seeking in this particular suit. But the latest development is that he is in court. It's a defamation suit against S.Gyamfi. But this is what the Special Prosecutor's Office put out earlier today regarding this matter. Yes, that's where we started this journey on the extortion allegation against Minority Leader Alexander AfenyoMarkin. The OSP says it's taking note of public allegations of extortion and related conduct made by the Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Gold Board, S.Gyamfi, against the Minority Leader of Parliament, Alexander AfenyoMarkin. The OSP also acknowledges a joint petition submitted by two persons as well as two separate petitions submitted by other persons in relation to the allegations. So it's not just the Solomon Owusu one. What we are learning today is that there are actually four persons who have submitted two separate petitions on this matter to various others, different institutions. Now, given the nature of the allegations, the OSP will assess the case and determine whether it falls within its statutory mandate and whether further investigation or action is warranted. So the last part is where it got a number of people, talking, because the act that establishes the special prosecutor is very clear on exactly what the special prosecutor can and should be able to investigate. And it goes without question that extortion falls within this bracket or remit of the corruption and corruption-related offenses. And so, well, if you look at the last part of the last paragraph, says the nature of allegations, the OSP is looking at it. They will assess the case and determine whether it falls within its statutory mandate. So here's what we're going to do. Stay with me. We'll get into the OSP's act that specifically establishes the office and whether it answers the question of whether its statutory mandate falls within this matter of extortion. That's allegations of extortion. We'll get into it. But afterwards, that's earlier this evening, we got to know, based on the statement made by Alexander AfenyoMarkin himself when Parliament reconvened for this emergency sitting that was communicated sometime last week, that he has decided now to go to court and seek a number of reliefs against that's against S.Gyamfi, that is the Gold Board CEO, and also the media house that he made this statement, this allegations of extortion on. We have a copy of that suit, but let's take a listen to Alexander AfenyoMarkin earlier today in Parliament, giving details of what he decided to do. Take a look.
In the face of the allegations of extortion leveled against me, I have chosen to take high moral ground by submitting myself to the processes of the law. I have accordingly caused writs to be filed in suit number GT 1029/2026, entitled Osahin Alexander AfenyoMarkin versus Samuel Edu-Gyamfi and Multimedia Group Limited at the Accra High Court, and suit number GR/ACH/CC/C5/02/2026, entitled Osahin Alexander AfenyoMarkin versus Eric Ejay and Peace FM at the Chimota Circuit Court. I have every confidence that in the fullness of time, the court will make the appropriate determination on these matters. Mr. Speaker, I also await with bated breath that the man or the men who made the allegation will have the courage to report the matter to the police or the OSP or any investigating agency in this country. And I expect that if they muster the courage to report that I have extorted from them and I am invited, I shall submit myself to every investigation so that eventually my name is cleared. Mr. Speaker, there is a limit to political discourse. There are lines that must not be crossed, and these red lines, once crossed, they must be dealt with.
With the motion they have filed, which was received in my office on the 21st of August, 2026, just 3 days ago. 3 days ago that it got to my office. I have gone through the motion myself, and I intend to admit the motion because we have to at least have an end to litigation. As to whether it's a loss or it's a cost, this House will have the opportunity to go through it. And please, Ghanaians are very intelligent people. They will listen, they will read in between the lines, and they will make their decisions.
Well, so that's a Speaker of Parliament there, indeed, referencing the motion that has been filed by the minority to have the Gold Board now come to Parliament to answer questions, which S.Gyamfi, the CEO of Gold Board, has indicated he is ready to do so. But this motion, according to the Speaker, is going to be heard after Parliament is recalled, not for this emergency sitting. So that is when they come for the next sitting of Parliament. So it's not going to be any time, at least soon, for this emergency period. But this is it. We have this is the copy of the suit Alexander AfenyoMarkin has filed. The summons against S.Gyamfi. You see Osahin Alexander AfenyoMarkin appears. This is part of his name now. Then there's versus Samuel Edu-Gyamfi. Oh, people didn't know that S.Gyamfi had a do in there, but that's Samuel Edu-Gyamfi, also known as S.Gyamfi. He gives his house number unknown, and then also the second defendant being the specific media house, as he mentioned earlier, the multimedia group. And a number of things that he is seeking in there. It's quite a long one, which we're just going to run through exactly what he's asking for. And this is it. It says, S.Gyamfi faces 15 million defamation suit over extortionist allegations against minority leader. That's what he's asking for. That's one of the reliefs he's asking for. Some 15 million Ghana cedis in this particular suit. He is a plaintiff, as we have just run through, he actually catalogs or recalls the exact incident when this particular allegation was made on the 22nd of August. And S.Gyamfi called AfenyoMarkin and quote-unquote extortionists while responding to a question about gold board finances. He recalls exactly how this question was asked and the responses that was given. Have you ever heard me use the word extortion against any of my critics? That's S.Gyamfi, quotes him, quote, why would I use this word now? Quote, that's AfenyoMarkin, cannot comment on that or even challenge me. He cannot because he knows that what I said is true. He's quoting S.Gyamfi in this instance. And that is not an insult. I'm speaking about what has happened, and he, AfenyoMarkin, knows it. So he just quotes a number of things that transpired in this particular video on the said program, then also the exact statements that were made about him. We'll go into some of the things that he's asking from the courts, but essentially it's 15 million Ghana cedis in damages that he is asking from the courts, and this is it. So the plaintiff's claims are, and we put it on the screen right now, general damages for libel, aggravated damages, and exemplary damages as well. We will get that into it shortly as we go on, and then also give you a bit more detail on some of these that he's asking for from the courts. And so this is asking for general damages, and then also, as I did indicate to you, the aggravated damages and exemplary damages. An order directing the defendants to publish, as is indicated there, the full details of it, and also a retraction of this particular statement that was made. So this is it. And so far, there's been quite some reaction to this. And here's why I bring in lawyer Martin Bibble. He's a legal practitioner, and he has seen a copy of this suit as well. I'm going to run through the full details of the suit and the specifics. I mean, it's about 14 pages. We cannot go through the full details of it on the show, but specific areas that gives you a summary of what Alexander AfenyoMarkin is asking of the court. We'll get into it. But Martin Bebo, good evening. Thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. Alexander AfenyoMarkin is in court now with a suit, a defamation suit against S.Gyamfi on this matter of he being called an extortionist. I mean, you've seen this and the full details of this particular suit. How do you see things playing out in the coming days?
Oh, to be frank with you, knowing Ghana, I don't so in other words, I expect that there will be a sort of political settlement sometime in the future, then everything will come to rest. Yes, so in other words, I don't expect the case to go to full trial for one person to be declared victorious and the other person declared vanquished. No. I don't think so. Look, this matter, I really don't see it as any big deal. Rather, you see, on Saturday, on the key points, I kept saying that where we should focus is, when I say we, as citizens, we are all part of government, right? Because the people, right? So we should focus on trying to explain that the money was well spent instead of it being seen as a loss. You see how Senior is written the article, other policy analysts agree that the money was used to achieve a certain purpose, to stabilize the cedi so that inflation will be kept low, so that prices of goods and services will be lower. You see, I keep mentioning the matter of the rice, because it's a very common staple. You see, I keep referencing the way Nituwu was crying on the floor of Parliament because he says the price of rice had gone so low that he was saddled with so much rice he couldn't sell, right? So and many other people have said so. Yes, I take the point that some people say the reduced prices may discourage farmers, etc. That's not the conversation now. But let me quickly say that A farmer who cannot sell his rice or maize goes to the market and has to buy other foodstuffs that are also cheaper. You see, so it's complex. You can't just say because the price of rice or maize have come down, then ipso facto a farmer will not farm. It's a lot more complex. Of course, I know they say there's going to be investigations. By all means, when the investigations come, you are likely to see a few things that are untoward, but that's politics. Let's leave that one. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. So, for me, coming back to the where this personal banter between S.Gyamfi and AfenyoMarkin have degenerated, I thought that there was no need at all for it. You see, I always say that, you see, the one in the saddle, S.Gyamfi being in the saddle, will be the one to say, oh, I would have expected you to say, oh, no, forget about what AfenyoMarkin is saying. I don't take it serious. I'm focused on the job. And then we will focus. The money was used for X, Y, Z. That's the point I've been making. We don't gain much when the public office holder also comes to answer back, then it degenerates like. So to be honest with you, I see that there will be a settlement down the line. Settlement, because it's not serving Ghana any use to continue this litigation in court, etc. It will bring both persons, both of them and their political parties, a lot of backlash, a lot of erosion of goodwill. It's not worth it. They just have to stop that fight somewhere. Yes.
Well, I see. You say it's not worth it, but now the latest development is that AfenyoMarkin is in court. You talk about a settlement. I want to find out exactly what kind of settlement that will be, but this is it. He's asking for a number of things, including the 50 million Ghana cedis. This is the general reliefs that he's seeking. I'm going to put it on the screen right now. Aggravated exemplary damages for libel, full unconditional public retraction and apology to run with equal prominence on Joy News and social platforms. 3, perpetual injunction against repeating the statements. 4, 15 million Ghana cedis in cost and compensation. And also a few more, which we'll get into. This is quite a tall list. And Mensano, also the chief, that's the co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption, Mensano, is also the chair of the African Union Board, Advisory Board on Anti-Corruption as well. He's joining us on Zoom. Mensano, thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. And this is the latest to it. After the OSP took interest in this matter, it appears that this is one that would not just pass as a commentary in the public domain, is it not?
It is. I mean, for people in good governance and anti-corruption, the word extortion is a technical term. It says that someone is forcibly, by means which are not, the right means, compelling another party to give them cash, assets, resources, something that they do not deserve. It's a serious matter. So from what I said, Mr. Gyamfi owes a responsibility to provide further and better particulars, which should be examined. And let's understand the context within which this allegation is being made.
Well, Lama Tikbebo talks about it also being an issue that really he didn't see so much of a big matter in the fact that if the two individuals pursued it, it could hurt them and their political parties in other ways. You just heard him there. Is it a matter that you think should have just been left to be prosecuted on the altar of the politics of things? Or with what we are saying now, it being in court, because AfenyoMarkin was dead, he was called upon to prove himself that if it is indeed not the case that he is not an extortionist, he should take this action?
No. It's not about the political talk or the political parties taking positions on the matter. It will be evidence. It should be evidence-based. So what exactly are we talking about? Is there evidence to show that there was an attempt to influence someone forcibly to give something? All of that needs to be examined. So it's not about the politics. At the end of the day, it's the evidence that's available for all of us to take a look at, analyze it, and draw a conclusion.
I see. And Lawyer Martin Pebble, I mean, before Alexander AfenyoMarkin announced this decision for him to go to court, the special prosecutor had indicated that, as I read in the statement, they are assessing these allegations to determine whether or not they have the mandate to look into or to investigate these allegations of extortion. But it's quite clear, is it not, that the act that establishes the special prosecutor's office, that they have the mandate to look into this, isn't it?
Yes. So when you talk about extortion, right? Yes, because as part of the mandate of the OSP, you look at section 78, 79, yes. So section 151 is part of it, extortion. You see, extortion. And when you go to the, so when I say section 151, the section 151 is referring to the Act 29. That's the Criminal Offences Act. And if briefly, I may just refer to what it means. Section 151 says, a person who extorts property from any other person by means of threat commits a second-degree felony. Let's go over. A person who extorts money from any other person by means of threat commits a second-degree felony. Yeah, so when they say the threat here, the law says it's not the threat of physical assault, not that one. So words. So when you use words generally, but not that you beat the person, etc. But when you use words like, hey, if you don't give me this money, I will expose you. If you don't give me this money, I will reveal this to other people. I will publish this story. I will do that. Yes, that's the extortion we are talking about. It doesn't include, I will beat you, I would have macho men waylay you, etc. Okay? Yes. Or I'll cut off your leg, cut off your hands. No, not those ones. Bodily harm, no. Beating the person, no. Any other kind of threat. So maybe you cause him some disadvantage in his business, etc. Yes, those will qualify as extortion. You said, and so the OSP Act Section 79 says that extortion is one of the crimes they can investigate. Yeah. So, but you see that the Apia Dankwa and Solomon Usu petition was sent to the CID, right? But the OSP is allowed under law when they see a story in the newspapers, yes, they in the public interest, they are allowed to pursue it. But as I have said, look, this area, it's not everything we can say on TV. There's not even much time to explain this extortion area. Let's be careful. You see, but let's mention one point, and then so I hope that the elders in both parties will look at it and solve this matter. Look, the plain truth, Mr. Okansi, is that when in Parliament, etc., usually the government in power reaches out to, pushing opposition members so that they tone down on the opposition and putting roadblocks, barriers to doing government business. So usually there's a bit of exchange of money. Let's be very clear so that they will know that it's not as if we are ignorant. Usually, and even Speaker Bagman has mentioned it before. So the things that come before Parliament, usually there's a bit of exchange of money here and there. So this area we are going into, I don't even know, where are you starting? I know you can say, oh, one case at a time, but the way that thing is so complex, I don't think at this time this is something that you really can get into. It's a very complex area, very complex. Yes, so when somebody says that you ask for money so that you will not make noise on your policy, etc., the MPs will tell you, hey, that thing, it goes both ways. Both ways. When one party is in power, to reduce the noise on the other side, usually money and other things are given.
I see, but Council, if anything, what you're saying is anything to go by, they call it compulsory arbitration. That's what some people who also have some knowledge of what you are talking about reference as compulsory arbitration, where they put pressure on you, a particular state agency or someone, and then out of pressure, you bow to it and then you go make some payments, allegedly. I mean, if these allegations or these references you make is anything to go by, that's quite worrying, to say the least. And even though you say there's been some acknowledgement, the speaker has spoken about it, that the allegations of money is being paid to committees in Parliament to look favorably on a particular deal or a particular policy that comes before it. It may be a silent convention, but it's unacceptable. It's illegal, is it not?
No, it doesn't. So that's why I'm saying that, you see, so we have to be strategic in the fight we are fighting. We have to be strategic. You see, in the fight against corruption, etc. We have the bigger issues. Government, and I'm happy, every now and then we should laud President Mahama for the code of conduct of public officers, the fact that there will be publication of the assets. So JM, kudos. You know, that's one of the things I said I will use to judge JM's legacy. So it's good that he's been man enough to allow the provision to go. And so that's a good thing for his legacy. We will sing it forever. So JM, kudos. In the meantime, even though the bill is not been passed, but at least the provision for publication is there. Other things can be done to make it stronger. So the point I'm making is that, you see, the fight against corruption, we've already tabled a number of things that we think those would help, right? So this code of conduct against public, code of conduct for public officers, right? Reverse burden to be able to prove corruption easily, and so many other things. So my point is that, you see, we should finish that first. Otherwise, you leave this, then now we'll concentrate all our attention on going to prove extortion. Don't forget the cash for seats. When Parliament attempted to investigate it, you see how eventually it just didn't go anywhere. So when I say that both ways, there are usually exchanges of money. We've heard these stories for decades. It's not just one or two stories. So with experience, you know certain things you can investigate and others you can't. Like the serenity prayer. I see that Mr. Kansi is even your DP. Just this evening, I discovered you put it as your DP. Let's go over it. It says that God should give you the wisdom, okay, to change the things you can change, right? And the wisdom to not change those that you cannot change. That's don't waste your energy. And then most especially, the wisdom to know the difference between the two, the things you can change and those you cannot. So what I'm saying is that it's not on all fours, but I see a parallel argument. What I'm saying is that we have a number of things we've tabled to fight corruption, etc. Let's concentrate on that. When we are done with that, then we can come to the way government in power usually gives opposition MPs some cushioning here and there. Those, because at this stage, if we leave these things, the things we've already cataloged, and then go chasing this one, then you are all over the place. For now, we can let that one be where it is. Okay, and then concentrate on getting the main ones done. The main ones, asset declaration, like I already said, the bill, as it's making its way in Parliament, reverse burden, that's the unexplained wealth, thing, all those other provisions we've asked for. Concentrate, otherwise we lose focus. If you want to go in every direction, touching everything, you lose focus, and at the end of the day, you don't even achieve much. That's my point.
I see. Well, so we'll see how this matter will play out. For now, there's a suit that's active and obviously would have to be responded to. So the counsel and the position that you take, we'll see if we'll find favor in the sight of these two persons and their parties. But lawyer, before I let you go, very quickly, we've seen a flyer that is attributing a quote to you regarding this particular matter of Gold Board and also the IMF report on this $1.7 billion. You said you've never seen that kind of loss before in your life since you were born. Did you ever make this statement anywhere?
No, I haven't. The statement doesn't even, I don't know what it seeks to achieve. Let me read it. It says that throughout my entire life, I've never witnessed this kind of loss by Gold Board. we must not joke with everything. I don't even. It's not coherent at all, and it's attributed to a certain there's a station. I know that that station didn't. I didn't even grant an interview to the station in the first place, so I don't even know how this could have been. I mean, attributed to my interview with the station. Of course, I know a station can pick feed from another station, but I don't get the point. Let me repeat. So you see, earlier on I said this go board matter. For now, me from where I sit, you see, we comment based on information. So my point is that this policy, as far as I'm aware, was designed in such a way that we'll be able to buy the gold from these small-scale miners, right? And then be able to use it to shore our currency, stabilize the economy. So it's a fiscal policy, you see. So it helps in the way we control prime monetary-wise, etc. So it's a good policy from where I sit. And as I said, I can also see that when we do investigation.
So abusia we ne ensema a course so our political highway so NPP minority leader OSP are taking quick action on hima enye asam keto akora beda mase some je pene kokoti sa ensem we my aha gossip politics TV so